Welcome to the history of physical education in Philippines!
Piliin mo ang inang Pilipinas, kapulo ang kwintas ng perla. Piliin mo yakapin.
Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Good day everyone, I'm Eduardo Amora, and I'll be your student teacher for today. So now, we will travel back in time to see what happened throughout the pre-Spanish, America, Japanese, and post-war to present. And we will start to the pre-Spanish period. Negritos or aitas physical activities were necessary for existence. Cockfighting, introduced by Malays and considered as a favorite sport, was popular. Dancing, a religious activity with several purposes, and was officiated by priest or a priestess who performed sacrifice. War dance were also performed. Bathing and swimming were an important part in the lives of natives. Negritos and aitas hunting with the use of bow and arrow for survival in the quest for food, protection against the hostile environment. They run, leap, jump, and climb, and they are fond of music and dancing. John Kamote, a man with the motion of stealing kamotes in the field. Pinapanilan, a man going through the motion of gathering in honey in the field. Dancing was a form of religious activity. They danced to please their gods, to cure their sick, to call for rain they doubt occurs after a bountiful harvest, and for a victory of a tribal called Caniao. The Spanish conquest of the Philippines did not have much effect on the physical activities of the people. Expect the enforced labor among the lower class of people in the building of churches, and generally, the people live in a sedentary life while waiting for the harvest time after planting. Dancing continued one of the major physical activities enjoyed by the people. Fandango dance. Fandango is a courtship dance and a Spanish folk song. Usually danced by couples, it begins slowly with a rhythm marked by castañas, clapping of hands, snapping of fingers, and stamping of feet. Cuaracha. Cuaracha is referred to as a courtship dance where dancers initiate courtship movements of a rooters and a hen in a creative way. Jota is a courtship dance traditional in northern Spain, particularly in Aragon. Polka is a lively courtship dance of Bohemian folk origin. The couples cover much space as they circle around the dance floor. Mazurka is a Polish folk dance for a circle of couples, characterized by stamping feet and clicking heels, and traditionally danced to the music of village band. Rigodon is a dance features couples moving in a lively piece to an update and dumple meter. Lancheros is a traditional dance from our bailes de salon, came to Puerto Rico via Spain in the second half of 19th century. Dancing became a major activity enjoyed by the people. The fandango, the juta, and cuaracha is from the Spain, in the polka and mazurka of certain Europe, and the lancheros and rigodon from France were introduced by the conquistadores of Luri of the Filipinos to be converted to the Christianity. Ceremonial dances were performed during religious activity. Recreational games such as Fiego de Anilo, Fiego de Prenda, and the Duplo were introduced. Girls played sungka, siklop, piko, and luksong tinik, and hide and seek. Boys played patintero, sipa, and kite flying. Older women played card games. A higher order recreational activities like horse races triggered the founding of Manila Jockey Club in 1867 to the supervise of holding the race once a year, but was closed in 1880. In the 1893, gymnastics was recorded to be required subject for all candidates of the elementary teacher's certificate at the Superior Normal School for men teachers. American period. In 1901, physical exercise was one of the most subjects introduced in the public schools, and a regular program of athletics was developed. 1905, basketball and track and field were introduced to the young boys. In 1909, athletics program of the schools emphasized the playing of Western sports and coaching tennis. 1910, basketball was the first introduced game for the young girls at the carnival meet held in Manila, but later was discontinued in 1914 because it was found very strenuous for the girls. Later, indoor basketball, tennis, and volleyball were introduced. In 1911, the athletic handbooks was published by the Bureau of Education, where the first part prescribed the simple games and relays. The second part contained the rule of baseball, basketball for girls, volleyball, indoor baseball, track and field, and lawn tennis. PAAF, or the Philippine Amateur Athletics Federation, was organized to control amateur sports in the Philippines. 1914, implementation of the Play for Everybody policy of the Bureau of Education. The Teachers Education Assembly started in Manila to give special training to Filipinos teachers to be able to conduct various physical activities. In March 5, 1919, a syllabus entitled Physical Education, a manual for teachers, was published as a result of a plan in 1918 for a definite course of student in physical education, submitted as a physical committee of superintendent. 1920, physical education was made a required subject in all public schools. 1928, a summer school for coaching was opened by the Office of the National Physical Education Director in cooperation with the Bureau of Education to help the public school teachers who are in charge of athletics to improve their coaching methods. 1937, physical education was made a curricular subject in the secondary schools, where the grade was not only based on attendance, but in proficiency in skills as well. 1939, women's track and field was added in the program of National Interscholastic. Japanese period. The Japanese period military administration obliged all public schools to perform daily calisthenics on air called the radio taiso, where Japanese instructors were provided. The demonstration of exercise was held in Luneta. Post-war to present. In 1948 to 1952, under the sponsorship of PAAF, the Department of Education, the National College of Physical Education conducted a summer school of physical education held at the Rizal Memorial Field. In the 1953, PAAF took the sponsorship alone. The school's Physical Education and Sports Act of 1969 provided a program of activities that include, among others, a program health of education and nutrition, a program of physical fitness for all pupils, a program of competitive athletics, a program of intramural and inter-unit athletics competition within school, district and province, and annual competition within among regions. The Philippine Sport Commissions. The Philippine Sport Commissions, or PSC, was created through Republic Act No. 6847 in the 1990 to serve as the sole policy-making and coordinating body of all amateur sports development programs and instructions in the Philippines. The Philippine Olympic Committee. The Philippine Olympic Committee, the umbrella organization of all nation sports association affiliated with the International Olympic Committee, and it's organized in the PSC Charter as the National Olympic Committee for the Philippines. It is primarily responsible for all activities pertaining to the country's participation in the Olympic Games, Asia's Games, and Southeast Asia's Games, and other international athletic competitions in accordance respectively with the rules of the International Olympic Committee, the Olympic Council of Asia, the Southeast Asia's Game Federation, and the other international sports bodies. Philippine participation in the Olympic in 1924 to 2000. The Philippines was representative for the first time in the World Olympics. It was a two-man delegation sent by Philippine Amateur Athletics Federation in 1924 Olympiad in Paris. David Nepomuceno, a runner and a sole representative of the Philippines at the 1924 Summer Olympic in Paris, France.
Medals and honors.
Efren Bata Reyes was dubbed as the Magician when he became the 1985 Red 9-Ball Open Champion for his ability to execute brilliant shots. Manny Pacquiao won the International Boxing Federation Super Bantamweight Championship at the age of 23. Jennifer Rosales was a 5 champion in golf in the Ladies Amateur Open in 1994 to 1989 before she turned professional. I'm hoping that you will get a better understanding of history of physical education in Philippines. Again, I'm Eduardo Amora, and thank you for watching!